Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have my first ever creator sim video because I was making some roommates over on stream. I finished it off stream but did the first 3, maybe 4 on stream, and this is for my first Let's Play, which will be a 2020 Dream Life replay run through of myself. So 2020 is not what any of us really expected. We kind of thought it would be roaring 20s, lots of parties, lots of fun, and it turned out to be 8 months indoors. So we're back in a lockdown. I've been streaming a lot more and playing Sims. I played Sims for myself for the first time a few days ago, and that was so lovely. Went back to my legacy family. But I thought I would make these, and we've got 7 Sims to create. So I made the flat that we're going to stay in a speed build, which is over on my channel, and that has 9 beds, and I left one of them empty, and then the rest of them I did sort of a style for each one and each sim that I wanted. So this is the nerdy and geeky sim. He's a nerd, he likes books, he's a genius, into like video games, that sort of thing, and just the friendly guy next door. And then chat decided which one I'd make next, so I'm actually going to make the hippie next. So in my Let's Play, I started this year off in my last few months of my last year at university, and I finished my course in lockdown. I wrote like 25,000 words during the first few months of lockdown, handed in my dissertation, did all of my final exams, pretty much everything, and I didn't get a graduation. So hopefully in this Let's Play, my sim will go all through university, get that beloved graduation, and this is sort of what I wanted 2020 to be like. I think I'll do 4 different sections, so university and then a trip to Sulani because I love snorkeling and water sports, being in hot countries, all that sort of stuff, and now that I've got island living, I can do that. And then maybe just a couple of weeks in one of the base game worlds, probably Willow Creek, and maybe we'll have some money by then, maybe have some kids, I don't know, which is obviously not part of the dream life, but it is The Sims, so it's going to be a loose dream life, I think, and then finish off in Snowy Escape. So I've just finished making the hippie guy. I decided right at the end that his face was a little too harsh for me, so I went in and changed that, and he is called Drew Bolton. I did change his surname because I preferred Bolton, but he loves the outdoors, he's vegetarian, he's kind of maybe one of those sort of preacher yoga types. I quite like that hippie style. I did it first for my legacy, and so I took quite a lot of inspiration of Rez over to him because I like I think it's the laundry day top that he wears for his everyday. But now on to the first female that I made. And she is supposed to be sort of a cultural girl. You might want to say like an international student, but I didn't want to put that label on her because that might not be correct. She might be from the local area, but she's just into culture. This is actually my first sim that I've sort of made with this aesthetic. I'm trying to do a much more diverse gameplay for my Sims, so exploring different cultures and different aesthetics of Sims. I downloaded Dine Out. I had such a mare with Sims. All of my save files got corrupted, all of my tray files got corrupted, everything. I spent like 12 hours reinstalling and finding the files, and I think I only lost one save file, which was my build file, and so it didn't matter because I had no in-progress builds in that file going. So I did really well to recover everything. But in that process, I installed Dine Out, and so she's got the Dine Out hair, which I thought worked so well for her complexion and her face and everything. And she's actually one of my favourite Sims I've created in a while because she's so different, but I felt like it worked so well. So she's got a lovely face shape and structure, and she suits pretty much everything. But it did mean that I was able to use some of the dresses that I don't usually, and some of the clothes that I don't usually. So yeah, I really enjoyed making her. And she's called Nia D. Hilton, I think. And so she wants to live in the city. She wants to live in as many places as she can and really explore the culture of places. She's also a little bit snobby because I thought she might turn her nose up. She's not one to travel with like motels and in campsites and youth hostels. She'll definitely do like the high life when she travels. And I thought that could be quite a fun way to have. I don't know how much like a roommate's personality comes into the game, but yeah, she's snobby, she's self-assured, knows her place in life, and yeah. So the last one I made on stream was the Jock. Really into sports. I thought this random sim was quite a nice place to start as well, because he's already had the sporty get-up, but then I've made him brunette, sort of done that really tight jawline. He's supposed to be pretty sort of hot, and the boy that every guy wants to be, the guy that every girl wants to date, that sort of aesthetic. I did actually go and change all of his everyday wear because I didn't think that this was sporty enough, and I felt like a Jock would just be that sort of person that's always wearing sports kit, whether they're just going to a lecture or they're going to, I don't know, someone's house to chill out in, they're always in their sports kit. So I went back and changed, and I think his sports gear that I decided became his everyday, and then I made his sportswear a little bit more sporty, if that makes any sense. But he can scrub up well, so he's got really nice formal gear. Not that I know when we'd ever use that in a university setting. And his party wear is pretty cool as well. So I had a lot of fun with him going for like the cool guy stuff. I've set his traits as being romantic and athletic and and also a slob, because I was going to put him as self-assured as well, or a bro or something like that. Outgoing, I think, is the one that I was toying with. But then I thought it'd be really fun to have him as a slob, because at my university, all of the sporty boys were kind of the messiest, and you'd walk into their kitchens and there would just be plates that have been there for weeks, sinks that are full, floors that aren't swept. So I kind of thought that he would embody that pretty well. And then we've got the cool girl. So Flares was kind of my inspiration for this character. She'd be wearing flares. In her room, she's got loads of potted plants, really, really sort of the stereotypical cool girl. So she became really like thin and fit, and all the guys would want to date her. She's got those university flares, some Doc Martens. Oh no, I decided against the Doc Martens. So she's got some high heels, so she looks really girly. I went to town with the makeup, and I thought the green eyes worked really nicely. I never use green eyes, so that's a new one for me. But she's got the rings and all those little details that cool girls always have. And she probably uses her figure to get loads of stuff that she wants. I can imagine her sort of walking around with a posse and probably not being the nicest person, but all the guys still want to date her and all the girls feel intimidated by her. I can just imagine like a person having a question in a lecture and knowing that she knows the answer but being way too scared to go ask her for it and for any help, because she just doesn't look that approachable. That's the sort of like vibe I was going for with her. So yeah, maybe not the nicest person, but my university was filled with people that would wear flares and just looked a bit intimidating. I never fitted into that crowd at all. But I really like the stuff that I've put her in. Like this new jacket from the Hispanic update is so nice, and I wish I had that in real life. Actually, there's so many clothes in The Sims that I just wish I had access to and could find, because I would definitely use The Sims to like coordinate my outfits if I could find the places to. And these are, I think they're sort of knitted swimsuits. I also, in my calamity of a day, downloaded Nifty Knitting, so I've got that stuff. I haven't played with the gameplay of either pack yet, because I haven't really done gameplay at all for a good while, so that I've still got to explore. And I can't really uninstall it now, but I'll get to each pack individually when I want to, I think is what I'm going to do. So she is called Natalia Lane, which is actually one of my favourite name combinations I've come up with. I had a friend in primary school called Natalia. I just think it's the prettiest name. And then Lane, I think, works really well. So she's the cool girl. And then we moved on to, this was off stream by this point, and I moved on to like the artistic sim. So she was gonna be my best friend, and I think I'm still gonna play it like that. But I also really like Nia, and she would be quite cool as a best friend, so I'm not sure. We'll see sort of how my Sim self vibes with each other. And with this new Snowy Escape, we've also got these sentiments and lifestyle things. So maybe if I download that in, it might actually choose who would be a best friend for me based on like the interactions and how it's supposedly going to make the emotion system a lot more integrated and a lot more complex, which loads of people have been asking for years now. It's not something that I'd really noticed as being an issue, probably because I wasn't surrounded by people saying that it was an issue. And now I do kind of understand that we don't have many consequences in The Sims. So hopefully that will increase that, and it might make gameplay harder, but maybe more interesting and probably more rewarding. So I've made her cheerful, into art, and I think her aspiration is to be a painter. So that's what I'm going to take for her. The only thing I'm worried about is the mechanics of the roommate system, because I obviously want these Sims that I've made to be going through like a certain diploma that they're going to have. So I would want her to be on like the artist one and the geek maybe on like a computer science one, something like that. But I also don't want them to be played Sims because, as I said, the flat has 9 bedrooms, so I couldn't play them all anyway, and that would just be way too much. I don't want that much control of these people. I'd want it to be much more, I don't know, much more random in how they act, because when they're roommates they can set their own parties, they can have their own boyfriends and girlfriends, and there's just a bit more storyline to it that I wouldn't then have to control. And I find that when I control too many Sims, so pretty much more than like 3 Sims, I get a bit overwhelmed and I lose my mojo with it. So I'm just going to have to work out what will work to have them in like the right courses and then have them non-play. So I might have to sort of insert them in, use a few cheats or something to do it. But finally we have the weird one. So he's made, well, not too weird, but like a loner type I've set him as. So in my flat I made a room section that had like loads of clowns in it, and so he was kind of into clowns. So for his party wear, I think I've given him like a clown costume and then based his outfit off of that. So he's got a pink top and purple trousers to go near that clown costume. So he wants to know a load of stuff. He's a genius, loner, perfectionist, kind of just the one that's around that you don't really know about. So those are the Sims. You'll have to find out about them more when I get it set up and working. That should be coming to my channel very soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that. It should be really fun and I'm super excited. I've just got a starter home to build. I'll be building that over on stream in the next few days, and then we'll be all set to start some gameplay. So I will see you for that. Subscribe, like this video, and I will see you all next time.